Hello. Did you know? You now can buy one of these for the same price as one of these? Let's look. First thing first, everything you've seen here, I've bought with my own money. This review or recommendation as such is my opinion and my opinion alone. I don't have a lot of subscribers. I get nothing from this. This is just me giving some friendly advice. Take it or leave it. Let's get started. Okie dokie, the price. Now, this is quite difficult as you cannot buy this particular model, the CSX2, online anymore. It has been discontinued and replaced by its big brother, the CSX3, which is fantastic. However, since the release of this one, the price of this one has dramatically dropped. And I mean dramatically. You know, just last year, 2022, this wheel was still for sale, selling for 1,200 euros plus, and that was excluding shipping and taxes. Now, on the used market, I've seen more than one of these selling between 600 and 750 euros. Now that is a bargain considering what you are getting. And if you're comparing it to a wheel like this, now this is an amazing wheel and I have reviewed it. If you want to see that review, I'll put a link up here somewhere or down here. Now if you do not see the link, I'm new to this YouTube thing, so that means I've not figured it out yet, so then just search for it. Anyway, you can now buy this wheel for the same price as this ASETEK Forte wheel. And in my opinion, if you had to ask me, okay, I can only pick one of these to use for the rest of 2023, I know which one I'd be picking. So, look at your used markets. I'm sure you can get a bargain. And yeah, for the price, for something that was selling for more than $1,000 a year ago, that you now can buy for that money, I don't think it should be overlooked. And that's why I decided to give this a review. A lot of people can perhaps say, oh, okay, I'm going to save up, I'm going to buy myself a 700 euro steering wheel. But very few people are lucky enough to be able to say, oh, let me go and spend 1,500 euros or dollars on a steering wheel. But you can buy one used. And when you're buying used, you can buy something that was very expensive before, you can now buy for cheaper. And because it's such an expensive wheel to start with, these things are looked after. I can assure you that nobody buying this wheel here has mishandled it or anything like that, because when you're paying that type of money, when you buy something new, you look after it. So the chances are you're going to get this wheel very, very well looked after for a bargain price for what you get. Now let's look. Let's start with looks. This is one amazing looking wheel. I mean, let me paint you a scenario, because when you spend money in sim racing, you're paying for immersion and you're paying for that feeling. Now what feeling, you ask me, is that? Let me give you that feeling, okay? This is my typical day. I go to work. I have a hard day at work. I come home. I help my wife with the kids. That's a job in itself. Then I do all the little chores that my wife requires me to do. The time is maybe 10 p.m., 11 p.m. I get to sneak away. I start climbing the stairs. I get to this room here, and I look at my rig, and I can just hear the theme music. Do you hear that? I'm walking slowly. I put on my gloves. I grab the steering wheel. And I mean, it looks amazing. I already feel like a Formula One driver. I start the race. I adjust my brake bias. Nice, beautiful on the screen. I'm ready to go. And green, green, green. First corner.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Reality check. Anyway, yeah, this thing definitely makes you feel like you're holding something special, and it is nice. I remember the first time I lifted this thing, it was the best quality wheel that I have lifted at that time. The buttons, everything is amazing, okay? And it looks the part. This looks like a top class wheel, and that is it. Now I do want to point out on the looks though, mine might look a bit different to what you see online. If you're lucky enough to find one of these used ones and you get the optional buttons. Now mine's got these optional buttons, that's why mine looks a bit different. So this comes standard. Your little funky switch will be blue like that, and then I believe this clutch bite point one is red. And also, I'm not sure which one. One of these are also red, okay? They come with like a rubbery, I'll show you, like a rubbery type of material for the encoders. Now mine, like I said, has got the optional buttons, which you can't buy anymore, so it'd be very nice if you can get your hold of one of these. And it just makes these knobs here aluminium, which is very nice. So that's why mine might look different. However, there's nothing wrong with this. It is perfect. Okay, so looks wise, I mean, you can see it's got a big, beautiful screen. You've got all your lights. You've got the backlit buttons. Now we'll talk more about the lights and the buttons and the screen later. But yeah, look. If you look at this wheel, I mean, I've got the USB dangling there, but this wheel is stunning. Okay, these the buttons, obviously you can put on whatever stickers you choose. It does come with stickers, and you can still buy the stickers on the website. So if you do need a new pair of stickers, okay, this is the back. You've got your carbon fiber panels, some CubeControls labeling at the top. Okay, that's definitely it is a very, very good looking wheel. You are gonna feel like a champion in this thing. Okay, build quality. Yep, trust me when I say the build quality on this is nearly second to none. And the reason I say nearly is just because I know there are companies that charge $2.5 grand for a wheel. Now I've never touched one of them wheels, so I can't say. But this is the best constructed wheel that I personally have picked up in my life, and I've picked up about 15 to 20 different wheels. Okay, so you've got a solid, thick carbon fiber plate, front plate, that makes this thing rock solid. I mean, there's not a single crack or movement in this wheel. Doesn't matter what way you twist this wheel. It doesn't matter how much force feedback goes through this wheel. It does not creak. It does not buckle. It does not even twist in the slightest. It is solid as solid can be, which is what you want in a wheel. The back is made out of aluminium, and it seems like they've just used one case. It's not that they've made 5 different cases and stuck them together. It's made out of one piece of aluminium, which just shows you again the detail that goes into it. I've pointed out before, the shifters are made out of carbon fiber, and even the smaller details over there, even these little pieces here, They are carbon fiber as well, so even the smaller parts has got quite good build quality in them. You know, sometimes people, sometimes manufacturers think, oh, these little small parts that's hidden away, people don't see them, you know, we can get away with using something else. But no, everything here has been used with top quality materials. The grip itself is, I mean, I cannot imagine this grip going off even after 2-3 years of heavy use. It's a nice squishy grip. I love this grip. I wish I used this same grip in the newer one. The newer one is more of a plastic type grip, where this one is like a really hard rubber, but there is a little bit of a squish to it, which is nice. Yeah, the whole wheel, even the buttons, everything is made, you can tell, out of very, very, very high quality materials. And that is exactly what you want from a wheel like this. And that's what makes this wheel so special. You can buy this wheel now for a bargain price, and you're going to have a wheel, honestly, that is rock solid and something that you can use for the next 2-3 years, no problem. Okay, let's talk about buttons. Now, the buttons on this wheel are very nice. They're all backlit. Now, you cannot change the color of the backlit buttons. They are just the color that they are. So the top ones here are red, followed by blue, a couple of green, blue, and red, and they just stay that color. So those are not customizable. The buttons have a very, very nice firm push. And most of these buttons, in fact all of them, are surrounded with a little plastic surround, so that way when you're gliding over your finger, you know exactly which button you're pushing, and you also won't be pushing any buttons by mistake. I mean, these here, like, you need some intent. You must want to push the button to push it. There's no chance of you gliding over these and pushing a button by mistake, which is nice. We've got 2 toggle switches here at the top, which, as you can see there, one switched on, or well, when you switch these down, they illuminate red, and it is simple on and off. Now, if you are in your sim, they just see this as one button click, and that is another button click. So if you start your sim and you use this for your lights, and this is already on, and you go into your sim, and then this is your lights are going to be off, and then that is going to be your lights on. So if that is something that bothers you, just make sure that these are always in the off position before you start your sim software. Okay, you've got your normal funky switch over here, which has got a very nice clicky turn to it, and the directions are very easy to use. And the aluminium button, or whatever you call that little thing, is of high quality. It's got a very nice grip to it, and yeah, it is very nice. These encoders over here, also aluminium, and they've got I honestly think it's the perfect resistance for you turning while you're driving, making fine adjustments. It is not too easy to move. You're not going to move this by mistake by gliding over, like there. I'm gliding my thumbs over it and it's not moving. However, it doesn't take a great deal either to move them, so that's very nice. These over here are these position switches. I believe you can change them to be just normal encoders, or if you want to have it to select something, but yeah, they don't go all the way around. They start over there, and then yeah, they turn till you get to the last position, and then you have to turn them back. These aluminium ones I've got on here feel very, very nice. Like I said, if you can get hold of them, do so. It does make the wheel just a little bit nicer to look and touch. So yeah, that's the buttons on the front. Now these over here, little scrollers, are very nice. I honestly still think these are the perfect resistance. In the new one, they are far too stiff. I don't even use these for my brake bias in the CSX3, but in this number CSX2, the resistance is perfect. This is the perfect one for me for my brake bias. Is very, very nice. You've got your clutch bite point here. Now I'll show you a little bit more how that works in a minute, but you can literally set your clutch bite point on the go. So if you want to go down 5, you go down 5, just adjust it a little bit, and in game you can adjust that to your liking. Now got these here on top. These here also very nice, easy to use. don't need to take your thumbs off the steering wheel. You can do everything from right where you are. Lovely. We go on to the paddles. So now, carbon fiber. I'm looking at them, and I wouldn't say they're quite 5 mil thick. They're maybe about 3.5, 4 mils the thickness, but it's definitely a solid piece of carbon fiber. There is absolutely zero twisting, or even if I touch the very tip of the shift, I can push it as hard as I want. There's no flex whatsoever. And you've got your clutch pedals at the bottom, and they've got a very nice feel to them, just like how you would want your clutch pedals to feel, if you ask me anyway. Okay, so yeah, these two are the buttons you're going to push the most. I'll be very honest with you, the first time I actually shifted with this, I was a little bit disappointed in the feeling. They actually addressed that in the newer version, but in this version here, I actually think they could have made it a little bit stiffer. I think it's a little bit easy to shift, and also, yeah, it's not that satisfying click that I get from other wheels. Other than that, buttons, mamma mia, they are perfect. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the lights. So the lights are very nice. You can't change the color of them, like I've said before. The buttons are just the colors they are. They are backlit, and you can adjust the brightness, which is nice. So sometimes when you racing in a dark room, which some people prefer, they might be a tad bit too bright, and yeah, you can mellow them down. I always like mine just at the brightest, and the way you see it here now, that is max brightness. Now, on brightness, the one thing I do want to say, which is for me a big negative on the CSX2, is the flag lights. They are, in my opinion, might just as well not be there. Okay, so your flag lights are these over here, the 1, 2, 3 there, the 1, 2, 3. So over here you've got a red, a blue, and a yellow. Those are the flags you get. And unfortunately those lights, they don't change color, so those are just the colors they are. So when there's a yellow flag in the race, only that top little light, that one and that one, lights up. And in my opinion, it doesn't grab your attention the way that a yellow flag button should. And yeah, they might, like I say, they might as well not be there. It would have been more, it would have been a lot better if all three of them maybe turned yellow, which they don't, but yeah, that definitely would have made it a lot more visible whenever there was a yellow flag, or you possibly have a blue flag. I do rely, when I'm racing with this wheel, I still rely on my flag display to tell me there's a flag. I would not just rely on the wheel to give me that information. But yeah, other than that, the lights are nice and bright. And yet you can turn them down if you want, and you can turn them up as well, and you can set it on your wheel, a dedicated button if that's something you want to do. So in game you'll be able to turn down the brightness or turn it up, which is a nice little feature. Alright, next we're going to talk about the big one, the screen. And it might be darker now because I gotta go to work like normal people do. But yeah, we'll talk about that tonight, and I've got quite a lot of screens to show you. That is what makes this wheel special. Okay? Okie dokie guys, so we are on to software. Now, you're going to go to this website here. You're going to go to the UGT. You're going to search UGT software in Google, and it's going to bring you to this ASETEK website. Now, this ASETEK website is because ASETEK bought over the company that produced the screens for the CSX2. So you're going to download this UGT manager, and yeah, it's going to look, oh, well, let me first show you here. You can come here and you can get yourself some nice screens, whichever ones you like. Now, you can either come to this website or you can pause and have a closer look. But yeah, it's quite a few to pick from. And this is what the software looks like when you've got it open. So we're going to come here to layouts, and we're going to say emulator. So this here, and I'll move that right there. This here is what I see on my screen as we are speaking now. There's the CubeControl logo. You can then go into your settings. Let's go into iRacing settings. Now these settings are just for iRacing. So whenever I go into iRacing, these here are the screens that are automatically loaded onto the wheel. These are the ones that are available for me to use, but that are not on the wheel. So let's say, for example, this one here with the big number 8 gear. Okay, let's say I just want to add that onto my iRacing profile. I just drag and drop, and you can see now it is over there. Now, if I want to remove this one, or let's say the orange one, if I want to remove, oh, going too far. You know what? There we go. If I want to remove this McLaren one, I simply drag and drop. Oh, yeah, you can see it's actually doing test data, but yeah, I just drag this and drop it there. And now that won't be on my steering wheel anymore once I load iRacing. Now this setting's very nice. It's specifically just for iRacing. If I want to then, let's say, go into F1 2021, you can see I've only got 3 screens that I've loaded. If I wanted to add one, I just drag and drop. Now what's very nice, for every single sim, you can adjust your revs, all that, the way whether you want it, you know, your rev lights to go left to right, right to left, middle to side, side to middle. You can adjust all them things over here. Now let me actually go back to the iRacing one. Gives you a little bit more options. There we go, see? So LED, these are all your flags. So all them things, dynamic colors. A lot of these, they don't even work in iRacing, but ideal tire temperature. So if it's too hot, it'll go red. Optimal green, cold. These are all set to Celsius. You can obviously change them to Fahrenheit. You can put your brake temperature, tire temperature, water temperature, you know, fuel pressure, whatever you want to set. You can set, and you can change it to whatever you want. Now this screen is quite handy. You've seen me change the brake bias on the steering wheel. Now this just tells you how long you want it to be displayed. If I change that to 5, whenever I change my brake bias, that screen there that shows me what my current brake bias is will then be displayed for 5 seconds. Now I don't need that long. I'm going to put that back to 1 second. And yeah, you can do that for traction control, for all these different settings. You can change how long you want it to be displayed on your screen once you've made an adjustment to any of them settings. So very, very nice. Also, I want to show you here something to keep in mind. This wheel does not have an on-off switch, and you are running it with 2 USB cables to power it. So sometimes even when you switch off your computer, for example, my screen will still stay on. Now there is this option right over here, and it's a nice setting to have. Turn off LCD LEDs when you close this program. So it just means whenever you close this program or switch off the computer, your lights and your steering wheel will automatically go out, which is a nice little settings. Also, I want to show you here the loadout generator. So yeah, this is your loadout generator, and this is for someone who wants to spend time to actually build their own screen. So you can actually make a screen exactly the way you want it for each particular sim you want it to make, or if you want to make one screen to fit them all, you can do so, and you can come here. To be honest, I don't have the patience to fiddle with these things, but just to show you, it's very quickly. If I want to move this gear, I can move it wherever I want to move it to. Oh, there, I'm grabbing something else, and yeah, let's move the optimal time. There we go, move that there. We move my current lap time, and oh, I want to have fit now my my gears over there. So it's as easy as dragging and dropping, and you can also obviously add whatever things you want to add. Create new layout, clone this layout, blah blah blah. Okay, so yeah, the software is quite nice and neat. There's a lot of things you can do with this software to make it just the way you like it. Alrighty. Okey-dokey. So the screen is a 4.3-inch screen. It's covered by a heavy scratch resistant glass, according to CubeControls. Now, I don't have, after more than a year of use, I don't have any scratches on my screen, which is very nice. That is what you want. As you load up any of your sims, these are the logos that appear. So as soon as you click onto ASETEK or you click onto iRacing, this little logo comes up. It's a nice little touch that they added. I'll just flick through them here very quickly. So damn, there's a lot of F1 ones. Who plays F1 2008 in 2023? I don't know, but it's there. And then the last one, F1 2021. Now I'm not sure if you can add new ones. I have tried and failed. I'm sure there is a way where you can probably add on, if you want to add on F1 2022, or most likely in June, July 2023. I'm sure there is a way, but I've tried and I could not figure it out. Okay, I'm going to show you some of the screens in Sim. See you in a sec. Okay, I've got iRacing loaded over there, and I'm just going to show you in game what happens to the screen when you change this or whatever in the screen. And yeah, you can have a look see yourself. So there's a screen. Now whenever I change my brake bias in game, look how nice that is. It is beautiful. Shows you nice and big. As I've said before, you can change, if you prefer that to stay on the screen longer when you're glancing down, you can set it to 2 seconds, 3 seconds, however long you want it on the screen, you can set it. So it's quite nice. That's the same for traction control and all other settings. They pop up briefly on the screen, which is nice because that's what you want. You want to have the information right over there. Then I've got some of the screens just programmed here to a button. I'll just quickly flick through them, but it's as easy as that. If you jump into a Porsche game, it's gonna you just flick through till you get to your Porsche room or your Ferrari room or whatever you choose. Now my screen always starts at this one here. It's just a nice neutral screen with your basic information on it. You can set what screen you actually want it to start up with when you pick it in the software. So if you have a favorite screen, that's the screen that will be loaded every time you start a sim. Screen, in my opinion, is amazing. It really makes this wheel special, like I've said before. And you can see everything clearly, even the smaller fonts, you can see them clearly. And you can set, if the screen is too bright, there's a setting for you to dim the screen a little bit. This is a max brightness it can go, so it can't go brighter than this, but it's bright. You're not going to need it to be brighter. And yeah, if you want, you can mellow the screen a little bit down if you're driving in the dark and it's maybe too bright for you. So yeah, it's got all the features you want from a screen. Like I said, the resolution is not that high, but for what it is, I mean, you can see the corners, everything yourself. It is a nice looking screen. You do not, in my opinion, need more resolution. Okay. So we made it to the conclusion. So what do I think? I think this is an amazing wheel. I know that this might be a hard to get wheel. There's not 50 or 60 of them for sale. I see maybe 1 or 2 pop up during a week. There's an amazing Facebook group called CubeControls Owners Group. Go join that group. They're very helpful whenever you're stuck with anything or need help. And there's always wheels for sale. Not just this wheel, but other CubeControls wheels. So it is a fantastic group to join on Facebook if you are a sim racing enthusiast. Anyway, I think this is a beautiful wheel. It's very, very well made, and if you can get a bargain and you get your hands on one of these, you do not need anything more for Formula open wheeler wheel. It's got everything. It's got all the bells and whistles. Okay, you've got all your buttons that you need. You've got a big, beautiful screen, and the build quality second to none. So really, go and have a look. You'll be amazed what you can find these for. Now, if my review has been helpful at all, please like this video so that other people like you can see more of my videos. And I just want to say thank you. I mean, I cannot believe after 2 or 3 videos that I'm at 150 subscribers. Honestly, I was just hoping for around 50 after the first month. So I'm actually blown away. On this very next screen that's going to pop up right about here, there's going to be a circle with my logo, the helmet. Click on that helmet, subscribe, and you'll see more of me. I wish you all the best. Hope your next race is a winner. Cheerio.